Welcome to Salisbury University on the Air, a program highlighting the activities and the people of the campus. My name is Susan Purnell. Last spring, Dr. Charles Wight was introduced as the 9th president of Salisbury University, taking office in July. His first 9 months on campus have been marked with great success, culminating with his recent inauguration. This month, he joins us to discuss some of the university's achievements under his presidency so far and what he is looking forward to in the future. So welcome back, Chuck.
Thank you.
I hope it's okay that I call you Chuck. You said that last time.
Absolutely.
So we're still with that. Great.
Yes.
It's been 9 months since I first talked to you on this show, and a lot has happened. And before we go into all of the things that you've learned and the accomplishments of the college, let's talk again, just refresh my memory about your career path, how you got here.
Sure. Well, I grew up in the East, in Fairfax, Virginia, and went to school at UVA, then went out to California for graduate school and stayed in the West for a long, long time. My first permanent job was teaching chemistry as a faculty member at the University of Utah, and I had a long career there, about 29 years, investigating the chemistry of high explosives and rocket propellants and some low temperature chemistry. And then I got into administration. Had several jobs in administration at the University of Utah, ended up being the dean of the graduate school. And then I had the opportunity to move up to Ogden, Utah, where I was hired as president of Weber State University. And after that, I had the unbelievably fortunate opportunity to come to Salisbury University.
Well, we're glad that you did. That's for sure. And I know you spent your first 100 days here on what you called a listening tour. So tell me, who did you listen to and what did you learn?
I listened to a lot of people. Some people sought me out because they had something to say. And other times I went to visit people and ask them a bunch of questions about Salisbury University, about their experience. And it was interesting because there was a common thread that went through almost everything that people told me. The faculty and staff here all said something like, you know, I really love my job here at Salisbury University. The best part of my job is working with the students. I would never leave my job, but I'd like to be paid a little bit more.
Well, I'm sure that that's the case just in almost any educational institution. I mean, you see that in the public schools around here too.
Yes.
You know, it just takes a special thing to be a teacher because teachers traditionally are just not paid enough.
But the culture and the vibe here is wonderful.
Yes.
And it's one of the things that makes me really proud to be the leader of this institution.
And I'm sure you're still listening at this point in time. The one thing that you have stressed since your arrival is that this is a student-centered university. And I know there have been several student-led projects in the last semester. One that I remember was let me see if I got this straight, Career Closet, right? Tell me a little bit about that.
The Career Closet was a student-led program, and in partnership with Student Affairs and the Career Center, the students created a space where people could donate professional clothing, and then they lend it to students who have to go on a job interview or to a career fair, someplace where they need to be dressed up. But students don't always have that professional clothing with them here.
Right.
And so it just provides an opportunity for students to borrow something really nice to make a good impression.
Did you go out to the public and ask for this? For the clothing, or did
Yes,
you did?
So we accept donations from people in the community.
Okay, where is the Career Closet?
It's in the Guerrero Student Union.
Okay, so I should bring it there.
Yep, please.
All right. Another student-centered activity, and student-led, I guess you would say, Food for the Flock Food Pantry. What's that?
So there's a group of presidential citizen scholars who are associated with our Institute for Public Affairs and Civic Engagement, and they did a project looking at food insecurity nationally. And a couple of the leaders, the students, decided that it would be a good idea to start something like that at Salisbury University. And so they asked for some help. They got some partnership with, again, student affairs and in the student union. And there's a place set aside now where people can bring donations. I think it's on Thursdays. And then on other days, students can come in. And sometimes it just happens that at the end of the month or at random times, students just aren't really sure where their next meal is going to come from. And they can come and get something nutritious or get a pass to go into the dining hall. And so it just eliminates one of those sources of insecurity for some of our students.
Oh, I think it's probably for more than you think. I remember when I was in college and my dad sent me $10 a week, believe it or not. It was a long time ago. And that was supposed to last me for my food for the week.
For whatever reason, when students you know, feel like they're just
So this
not
is for
sure.
from the students for the students.
From the students for the students, although of course they take food donations and cash donations from anybody.
Anyone. That's great. Any other student achievements that you're particularly proud of?
Oh, wow. You know, our students are tremendous. Just recently, we had 13 students who are semifinalists for Fulbright scholarships. And
that has to be a record.
Some of those have been awarded already. Other students are still waiting for their decisions, but it's going to be a great Fulbright year. They also, 44 students wrote proposals to present their projects at the National Conference for Undergraduate Research, and they were accepted. So we're going to be taking a huge group of students to this National Conference for Undergraduate Research. Those are just a couple of the things that our students have done lately.
And let's not leave out the faculty. I think that since you've been here, there have been some great grants that have been announced. And tell me a little bit about those.
So I should say that first and foremost, our faculty are doing a great job in teaching. That's our primary mission. And I've had a chance to visit classes and provide guest lectures and meet students.
That's right. You've been teaching a little yourself.
A little bit, yeah. And so they are doing a tremendous job with that. But over and above that, they are pursuing scholarship and research, often in collaboration with students and getting outside grants to support that. So we've gotten millions of dollars from the National Science Foundation for career development, for scientific equipment, for scholarships, for teacher preparation awards, all sorts of things. We've gotten a grant from the National Endowment for the Humanities, for the NAB Center to sort of chronicle the development and evolution of baseball on the Eastern Shore in the early 20th century. So lots and lots of projects funded externally, and I'm just so proud of all of our faculty. In fact, we had a pub night recently where we got to honor some of the faculty for their external funding awards, and 4 of our faculty members have garnered over $5 million each in external awards over their careers here at SU. Yeah.
That's truly amazing. And SU has also received significant national accolades since you've been at the helm. Tell us about some of those. You were America's Top Colleges or something like that, right?
We're on lots and lots of lists. For America's Top Colleges. U.S. News and World Report ranks colleges, and we're consistently in the top regional universities of the North, I think for 22 straight years now. For Princeton Review, we've been on their best colleges list for 20 years. U.S. News just came out with their graduate program rankings and gave the nod to 4 of our programs, 2 in nursing and our MBA program, and 1 other.
You got another award for
social
being green.
Yes.
Right?
We're on a list of green colleges.
Right.
So lots and lots of lists and awards. The ones that I think are the most meaningful, actually, are the best value. And what that means is that we have not only an exceptionally high quality education to offer to students, but we do it at a price point that is really affordable. And those 2 things don't often go together.
No, they don't. No, they don't. I looked at the price of my college recently and was astounded, because I certainly wouldn't have gone there if this were the price.
Right.
So this was the price then.
Awards like Money Magazine and Washington Monthly and so forth, those are some of the awards that I think are really great.
That's something to be very proud of. It really is. Now, I think you've also received several accolades since you've been here just in this short 9 months. One in particular is that you were named to the Leadership Maryland class of 2019.
I was. And we're just getting started. I'm looking forward to traveling all throughout Maryland, learning about the state, learning about the business community and the nonprofit community and the educational community, networking with other leaders in the state, and learning how Maryland works so that I can bring that back to SU for the benefit of our students and of our community.
I've known several people that have participated, and it has been one of the highlights of their life. So I think you're into something good. I know Jake Day did it, for example, Dave Hanlon. It's a great program and a great honor to be asked to be a part of that. Thank you, Chuck. You've certainly overseen some wonderful things at your time at the helm here at SU so far. Before we begin discussing what's in store for the university's future, I'd like to share with our viewers some scenes from President Wight's recent inauguration, the first held at SU in nearly 2 decades. With dignitaries in attendance from local elected officials to University System of Maryland Chancellor Robert Corrett, along with SU students, faculty, staff, and other guests, the colorful ceremony served as a fitting celebration of the university's new leadership.
Next is Salisbury University's President Emerita, Dr. Janet Dudley Eschbach, and her husband, Joe Eschbach. Would you please stand and be recognized? Again, it's my distinct honor and privilege to welcome our guests to this joyous occasion, an important milestone in the history of Salisbury University. We come here today to install Dr. Charles A. Wight as our 9th president. But I can assure you that since coming to our campus and joining us on July 1st, 2018, Dr. Wight has really hit the ground running.
I also want to thank Victoria for coming with him. Having moved my spouse several times at this point across the country and north and south, I realize the challenge that entails.
So by the authority vested in me by the University System of the Maryland Board of Regents, I'm pleased to install you as the 9th president of Salisbury University with all the rights, privileges pertaining thereto.
We need to make certain that money is never an insurmountable object, a barrier to college education. We need to create this opportunity for every student who is willing to commit to a plan of study, work hard, and succeed. No university can fulfill its true potential for educational excellence unless it embraces the idea that the best learning occurs when we gather people together from different backgrounds, different experiences, different cultures, different races, different religions, and different nationalities to have respectful conversations about our differences.
What a wonderful event that was. And for you, your second inauguration since the first at Weber State.
Yes.
How many years ago was that?
About 6 years ago.
About 6 years ago. So you're an old pro. What do you think is the significance of a ceremony like this?
Well, it's an opportunity for a leader to express his or her intentions going forward, to set out some priorities, and it's an opportunity for the community to gather together and just mark a turning point in the leadership of the institution.
And I think you talked about what some of your main priorities are going to be in the coming days. Can you talk a little bit about the 4 priorities that you stressed?
Sure. The 4 things that, at least for some time, I'm going to be spending a lot of my time and energy on are keeping SU accessible and affordable for students.
That same value you just talked about.
Keeping those barriers to college low, because it's so important for students to get there and launch themselves into the rest of their lives. The second priority is building a culture of inclusion at the institution that makes sure that everybody feels not only welcome, but that they have a true sense of belonging at Salisbury University. So we'll be working to improve a culture of inclusion. The third is all around stewardship. Not only stewardship of financial resources, tuition dollars, and state money, but also stewardship of the institution, making sure that the institution is set up to be sustainable over many, many years after we're all gone, and making sure that students learn how to take care of the planet, because sustainability of the planet is an essential part of the future for all of us.
Right.
And the 4th priority is community, building great partnerships between the university and our community partnerships, not only welcoming people from the community onto our campus to enjoy some of the many things that we have to offer, but also sending our students and faculty out to work with community partners to make our community a better place to live.
Well, our community thanks you for that, and look forward to seeing what we can do in those areas. The one area that strikes me you've already begun doing is the idea of your commitment to inclusion and diversity by opening the new Center for Equity, Justice, and Inclusion. Please tell me a little bit about how that came about and what really it is.
So this is a space in Blackwell Hall that we made available to the staff and faculty for building resources to help under-resourced communities. So right now there are 3 groups that occupy that space. The Women's Center, there's a Disability Center, and there is a center for LGBTQIA plus students, faculty, and staff, where they can go get resources, books, pamphlets, information, form community, get support when they need it. But there's also room in that center for additional groups. And so we're expecting other groups to apply for and receive space and support in that center.
That's a great use for that. I know there was often talk about what we're going to do with Blackwell now that it wasn't the library anymore.
Well, there are lots of plans for Blackwell.
I'm sure, but what a good start for that. Now, under the idea about mutually positive relationships with our community, I know you've been active in several civic organizations since you've been here. What are they?
Probably the most active has been with the greater Salisbury community, meeting civic leaders for regular meetings downtown, hearing about what's going on in our community, what the priorities are, where we stand economically, socially, politically, and but beyond that, also participating in the Greater Salisbury Chamber of Commerce and the Ocean City Chamber of Commerce and their economic development activities. So I've been trying to get out and about and be engaged in lots of groups.
Well, I really appreciate that, and particularly appreciate the downtown work that's being done by SU. There's a an energy down there that we haven't had for a long time. And a lot of that, I think, is due to SU.
I think a lot of it's due to the mayor, actually.
Well,
but
I have to give him a lot of credit, too.
We're proud to be partners.
Absolutely. He truly has. He realizes the importance of a vibrant downtown.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about what's going on downtown. In what do they call it? Downtown SU or SU downtown? Okay,
yeah.
I had it backwards.
Right. So we have a building that was donated to us, a generous gift, and we put a shop that we call Simply Salisbury there, where you can buy some SU gear and whatever. We have an art gallery. We have our downtown entrepreneurship center that we're starting to build out to help people start small businesses. And we have the ESRGC, which is the Eastern Shore Regional GIS Cooperative. And that is a center where our geographers make all sorts of maps. They're political maps, altitude maps, landscape maps of all sorts of things to help businesses and governments make informed decisions.
And they believe being downtown gives them a little bit more visibility than
Yes.
if they were tucked away somewhere on campus.
Right.
Because really most of their clients are not necessarily SU, but other
No, they're all they're mostly outside
companies,
SU.
yeah.
They're companies. They are county governments all over the Eastern Shore, city governments, all sorts of things.
I mean, that's an organization that you wouldn't have heard of 20 years ago.
Right.
It's pretty interesting, really is. Why do you think the priorities that you've stated are so important right now?
Well, I believe that universities must serve their communities. They must be leaders in their communities. And to do that effectively, we not only have to educate students and send them well prepared to be out in the community as graduates, being great civic leaders and productive citizens, but also we have to lead by example in the community. So my priorities are things that help to position SU a little bit better to be leaders in our community and to be there for our students. Now, I should say that I am tremendously grateful that SU has been on a positive trajectory for a long time. It's one of the things that attracted me to this job.
You did inherit a nice situation.
I inherited a great situation. I have a great team, and things are going very, very well. But every leader wants to take us to the next level.
There's always room for improvement.
Right.
Right. And I think that you're showing us that there are ways that we can even be better. So it's great to have you. It's been very exciting for me. I went to Carruthers Elementary School here when there was Holloway Hall and Carruthers.
Yep.
That was it.
Yep.
We
Yep.
call it Campus Elementary. And now, I don't even know how many buildings we have on campus.
I don't
but
even know that either.
It truly, it's practically a city within a city. It's so large.
It is.
And then with all the excitement going on over there in Court Plaza in the next few years, which is really going to beef up that southern entrance to the college, and it should just be really beautiful.
I think we're going to have an opportunity not only to build some residence halls and a little bit of retail to make that student friendly, but we're going to have an opportunity to help shape the southern gateway to Salisbury.
We are, and it wasn't always so pretty. And we obviously needed housing too, so that's going to be a terrific addition to the college, and excited to see that happen. Anything else you're excited to see in the future?
I wanted to say that this community, the university and the city and the Eastern Shore, have welcomed Victoria and me with open arms, very, very warmly. We are just delighted to be here on the Eastern Shore, in Salisbury, at Salisbury University. And the truth is, she and I have been beach people for a long time, but now we're only 30 minutes from the beach.
Great.
It's wonderful.
It's great. There's so many options for
Lots
you now.
of options.
Yeah, so welcome. Glad to have you here, and can't wait to see what you're going to do next.
Thank you.
As a Salisbury native, I've seen SU grow from a small local institution to the strong, nationally recognized public campus that it is today. I can't wait to see where Chuck takes it from here. And now here's a look at upcoming events on the campus in April and May. That was a lot of events. All are open to the community, and admission to most is free or at a low cost. I hope to see some of you on campus as you enjoy them this spring. I'd like to thank my guest, SU President Charles Wight, for joining me today. I'm Susan Purnell, and this has been Salisbury University on the Air. Thank you for watching.